Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Emily.
And we're the hosts of the I Don't Think So podcast. Each week, we discuss a different story, theory, or mystery and decide if we think it's believable or if we really don't think so.
Here at the I Don't Think So podcast, we are affiliated with Flurry Sports, and we present our theories on your favorite place to listen to podcasts every single Wednesday. If you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a like and a share. And follow us on X, Threads, Instagram at I Don't Think So _EH, or follow us on YouTube at IDTS Conspiracies.
Excellent.
Woo.
Another week of January and another cryptid.
I feel like we're really going back to our basics here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we did conspiracies, which is what we started with last month. But I think like cryptids and conspiracies always go such hand in hand for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was like burnt out of looking for cryptids on our first season, I always like went to Did I say cryptids twice?
Yep. When you got burnt out of looking at conspiracies,
Yes.
You went to cryptids. Because the thing is, like we've said once, we'll say it a million times, you go down that conspiracy rabbit hole, it can get so politicized so fast. And it's just like,
I'm just here for a fun time.
yeah.
You know, I'm not here to talk about.
And so then it's like, let's talk about this silly little monster instead, you know? That's like eating people and attacking animals.
Because someone killed themselves and you're like, oh, perfect.
Yeah. Little less serious.
Little less intense.
Well, speaking of that, I thought it would be fun to bring us closer to home. And so I looked up sorry, that wasn't words. I was going to say conspiracy, but it's not a conspiracy.
A cryptid?
It's real.
Oh!
I was looking at cryptids native to Wisconsin, and this one is called the Beast of Bray Road.
So I remember getting sent a picture by you of like all the cryptids in Wisconsin. And there's one in Eau Claire, and I was like, lies.
I look at that. I just Googled famous cryptids of Wisconsin. I should have looked at that photo though, but I didn't think about it.
The Bray of the road, whatever.
The Beast of Bray Road was on there.
The Bray of Beast Road. Yeah, I think that was on the picture because I was like, oh, fun, but I didn't look into it at all.
Apparently, it's one of the more famous ones. I've never heard of it.
Nope.
And so I thought that would be a fun place to start. So, the Beast of Bray Road is the name of like a wolf-like creature, allegedly reported to have been witnessed in or near Elkhorn, which is in Walworth County, Wisconsin. Never heard of it, but it's like southern.
Okay. Elkhorn sounds very familiar, but I don't know if that's because there's several Elkhorns in Wisconsin or
There's lots of like elk something towns in Wisconsin, but I think it's like southern-ish. Let me maps it for you quickly just to give you a better description
idea.
So it's kind of by Lake Geneva, in between like Whitewater and like right kind of on the, probably like an hour from, this is how we gauge directions. It's like an hour, it's like Milwaukee-ish area.
Yeah, that's real south.
Like south of Madison and Milwaukee, close to Lake Geneva, like kind of on the border of Wisconsin and Illinois, getting closer to Lake Michigan. So if I were to guesstimate, an hour's drive to Lake Michigan. I don't know.
Ish.
But anywho, that's where we're at.
Okay.
And the creature has become like part of like famous folklore in Wisconsin. And became like the center focus of several books and even a 2005 horror film on it.
Whoa!
Never heard of it, but apparently it was good if you look at Rotten Tomatoes. So it's named after the rural farm road when it was first like reportedly seen. So Bray Road, obviously.
Sure.
And more accounts of sightings happened in the 80s and the 90s. However, it was first allegedly sighted in 1936.
Ooh.
So, in the 80s and 90s, like, reports of this creature prompted the local newspaper, the Walworth County Week, to assign the reporter Linda Godfrey to cover the story. And initially, Godfrey was skeptical, but she ended up becoming convinced of it after speaking to so many witnesses. And her series of articles later became a book titled The Beast of Bray Road, Tailing Wisconsin's Werewolf. Skeptics maintain that the creature is likely just the result of misidentification, but others who are believers claim that there's no way they truly believe that this is some sort of werewolf.
Okay.
So, to give you kind of a description of the cryptid, it's often described as like large, between like 6 and 7 feet tall, with a humanoid style of body but covered in fur, with a head resembling a wolf, with glowing red-orange eyes. And it's been said to sometimes be seen walking like on its hind legs like a person, but also walking like a typical like traditional wolf. And it's described to be more closely resembling a traditional like werewolf, but others give more descriptions of like hairier looking, more like Bigfoot kind of style descriptions. Okay. But most people claim that like it has more of a wolf head. Okay. So that's the description of it. Again, it was initially cited in 1936, but several alleged witnesses came forward in the 80s reporting that the beast had made contact with their vehicles, leaving long scratch marks on doors and trunks of vehicles. One witness stated she hit something while crossing Bray Road, and upon exiting her vehicle, she supposedly saw like a large wolf-like creature with red eyes, and it chased her back to her car, leaving claw marks in the rear passenger door.
How do you explain that to insurance?
I don't know. Like, terrifying.
I'm sorry, I got chased by a wolf man.
Right. And then sightings have also reported that during daylight hours, with several witnesses stating that they're all observing this same unusual wolf-like creature running on all fours through cornfields. And one stated that the creature was in pursuit of a deer. So they're watching it being chased. And the thing is like, as you're watching through the corn, if that many people are watching it, like, you'd think you'd be able to see something. But again, it could be some sort of wolf or something.
Yeah, but you would think, like, because I'm imagining, like, it's like me, you, maybe like 2 other people, and like we're watching something like running through the corn. Firstly, I'm not standing there watching. I am hoofing it.
That's kind of a Midwestern thing. Like, danger, let me just sit outside and
just stare at it for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, I am not staying there. I'm leaving, I'm gone. But, like, to me, that, like, makes it more valid if, like, 4 people are standing there being like,
we all saw something.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a weird
wolf
thing.
Yes. Additionally, animal mutilations have been reported in the area around Bray Road, with animal remains, including deer and livestock, partially eaten, with specific organs removed from the animal carcasses. Another witness reported driving down Bray Road late one night and observed an unusually large wolf-like creature eating an animal, which had been hit by a car on the side of the road. The creature reportedly ran into the woods as the witness approached it with her vehicle. And then again, more recently, in February 2018 and July of 2020, allegedly witnesses reported observing a large creature that's hair-covered, standing upright in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and Lyons, Wisconsin, both in Walworth County.
Yeah, I've heard of Sun Prairie. So Lyons, I haven't heard of.
The same county as Elkhorn. So same area, right? Mm-hmm. So they've tried to kind of put together some explanations of what this could be. A number of misidentified animal-based theories have been proposed, including that it could simply just be some type of gray wolf or a large dog, like a Great Pyrenees, which I don't know about that.
Is it white? Because that's what a Great Pyrenees is.
They're saying it's like gray typically, so it could be some sort of gray wolf or something like that.
Okay.
They're saying it's not common to typically have wolves in the southern part of the state, but they can occasionally be found. It's also possible that it's just a big hoax causing mass hysteria, having caused some of these like sightings to be like normal creatures, but then people getting freaked out thinking it's something else. And additionally, others have theorized that potentially it might be a black bear suffering from mange. Wolves and black bears have been sighted in Wolf County, but again, not typically
They're not
common. Yeah.
Also, for it to be like, mange does the body not great things.
No.
So for it to be a bear with mange sighted in the 80s, 90s, back in the 30s, firstly, the bear from the 30s to now wouldn't be alive.
Right.
But, like, just because of old age. But, like, the likelihood of that bear continuing to live with mange
is not likely.
It's not likely. For decades?
Right.
I don't know how long bears live for.
I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of the information that I have on it. I guess when it comes to a lot of, like, cryptids, especially the ones I was researching, different cryptids and other things native to Wisconsin, a lot of things had roots back to different like Native American tribes and legends. Specifically, this one they're saying has roots to other like traditional beings that they would like do different ceremonies to try to protect themselves against. Not this one specifically, but other ones that are similar, like wolf-like creatures. And so I'm like, maybe they were seeing something out in the woods that like we don't typically see, but
Right.
like traditionally there's different types of like larger wolf-like animals that it could be something like that. But either way, creepy.
Bears can live up, like black bears typically live around 25 years.
So if they're found in the 80s and then, or seen in the 80s and then now seeing again in 2018 to 2020, it's not the same bear.
It wouldn't be the same bear. And you're telling me the bear is just rampant with mange?
Yeah, probably not.
No. And that would mean, again, that there'd be a breeding population. You would see more black bears then down there. And if they're not like a frequent animal, that's one thing, right? And also, like, sometimes you'll see mutilations, like, of livestock and other things like that with, like, big cats, like cougars and things like that. We hardly see those in more of the northern part of the state, let alone the southern.
Well, and the thing is, too, is you'd think if it was something like that, they would be giving more of a description that's more cat-like than, like,
wolf-like.
Wolf-like? I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't think necessarily a bear looks like a wolf.
No, I don't either.
Can you imagine seeing something like that standing on 2 feet?
Or, like, running after you and clawing your car? I would never get over that. If that happened to me,
God.
and then people were like, the crazy lady said she got chased by a wolf-like creature.
I would have to be checked in somewhere because I would
absolutely.
I would be so.
I swear I saw it.
I'd be standing on the street corner like screaming about this wolf dog thing, and I'd be like, it scratched my car. Like I would be like, I try to show people. I'm like, I don't know how to tell you. Also, I'd be mad. I'd be like, why don't you believe me?
No kidding.
Why would I?
Especially if there is a group of people that saw it and then they're like, we swear to God, we all saw the same thing.
Also, what was she doing getting out of her car?
I don't know.
And why were you walking so far away from your car that you had to like run back?
That's a Midwestern thing.
I'm not walking away from my car. I'm not getting out. I'm calling my dad.
I'm curious. Oh, I'm calling my dad. That's true. Dad, we're a Midwesterner with anxiety.
Dad, I think I popped a tire. Come get me.
No kidding.
Did she pop a tire? Is that what happened?
No, she said that she saw something, like she hit it with her car.
Oh, I would get out of the car then.
To see if it was dead. And then when she was getting out of the car, to see if it was dead, it chased her back to her car.
That's fucking rude. I'm checking on your well-being.
Gotta see if we gotta call the DNR, get them towed off the road, and we can pull it in.
Can I tag it and eat it?
Oh my gosh. My favorite was when the first year Dan hunted down here. My mom hit a deer on the highway right at the beginning of hunting season. And I remember going there and then pulling the deer into his truck.
Oh no.
And they're like, sweet, we just got all our tags, so we can take this one. And the biggest deer they got that year was the one my mom hit.
Oh, I'm gonna be so upset. No, I know my dad one time hit a deer, and he pulled over because he's like, one of my friends likes venison, and he picked, and it was like a fawn, and so it was like nothing left, and he was like, I'm so sorry.
So sad.
Sorry, everybody. Yeah, no.
And this one would be like, we had to cut the rear quarter out because it was all like blasted. So she smoked it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
My God. Yeah. So I would probably cry first.
Oh, same. I cry when I hit like a bunny.
I've only ever hit one bunny and I felt horrible.
Yeah.
Birds?
I don't like birds.
I don't like hitting them, but I don't typically cry.
No.
Squirrels, bunnies, anything with fur, I'm like, I'm so sorry. If I ever hit a cat, I will be inconsolable for months.
That's another story my mom told me. Sitting there driving on like the creek road or whatever, and there was like cat like already dead. Oh, but it was they found out it was like frozen to the road, and so she's driving and it was like super icy. So it was like, and you know the creek road, it's like curvy and it's really narrow. And she's like, move, kitty, move, kitty, move, kitty. Doo-doo.
Oh my God.
My dad was in the car with her and she's like, did I hit it? And he's like, both tires. And so then they got out and looked and it was like already dead.
It was
but
already
like
gone.
Like someone probably hit it and then it got frozen to the road because they didn't move it and then she hit it again. But I'm like, that was sad.
Awful. Oh, I can't even imagine. Yeah, there's a few animals in this lifetime that I hope I never.
Makes me teary-eyed. That's so sad.
I told you the saddest story ever, right? My brother and I were in the car driving back from the fair, and there was a cat crossing the road right by one of these big farms. And I was like, Kitty, what are you doing? Get out of the road. You're so silly. And then I look, and someone had hit another cat, and it was walking over to the cat that I got hit. I was like, inconsolable. It was like going to pay respects to its friend. And Jake and I'm like crying. And Jake's like, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen. That's awful. Yeah, no. I was like, Kitty. No.
I can't imagine. That's so sad. You definitely told me that story, but I forgot about it. I probably blocked it from trauma response, blocked it from my brain.
Now all of you have to know about this kitty that was like paying homage to his friend. And I was like,
oh God, I can't even imagine.
Inconsolable. I was like, I cried. Like on the way home, I was like crying about this cat that got hit and its friend that came to visit. Oh, what a time. Anyways, that'll wrap up our first chunk of this episode.
We spent the last 10 minutes
talking about hitting animals. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess, what do you think? Do you think this thing exists?
I believe it.
I just think
I'm not going to doubt that many things are in the woods.
You're telling me all these people are seeing something. And, like, we're just supposed to be like, no.
I've seen a wolf. I don't think like, you see something walking on its hind legs.
A wolf is never getting on its hind legs. What's a wolf getting on its hind legs and walking for?
Nothing. Even if it has mange.
There's wolves up here.
Right.
That aren't doing that.
Right.
Also, like, that's a big wolf. Like, I know wolves are big.
Yeah.
But, like, 6 to 7 feet on its hind legs. Is that a normal wolf?
I don't think, not like a timber wolf, but those are like northern Minnesota. They're not going to be down in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, you know?
I will say, I'm a little confused why they're all like around one road. Like one, I mean, they said they've seen them in like
throughout the county towns, or whatever.
But...
Yeah. I think they called it that on that road because that's where it was initially sighted. But it was like seen around there.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a good name, Beast of Bray Road. It just rolls off the tongue nicely.
As I'm like, Bray a Beast Road. Too many bees. Well, that was a good one.
Thanks.
A little cryptid. And bringing it back to our home state.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in
Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
That's...
old Badger State.
Oh. Okay, I always get...
Hail we ye old dear sons and daughters.
across the USA.
It's the state song. Hail ye old dear sons and daughters. I don't know.
Something.
You rah. I want to revert back to our own old school song.
You know why I don't know that song?
Why?
Our aunt. Because we were in music. Hannah and I were in musicals growing up. And our aunt always was the one who like produced these musicals. And what she would do is she would change the wording of like common tune songs to make it fit whatever we were thinking of. So I don't know the genuine words to like half of the songs.
Oh.
Because that one, I think of the flag song that we sang that was like grand old something flag. Na, 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 na. It's like a grand old flag.
You're a grand old flag. That's not that's a real song though.
Yeah, but there was one that we did on Wisconsin that was about flags. Or it's like the Veterans Day song.
Veterans Day comes but once a year.
Let's take time to honor those who guard our freedom dear.
Veterans Day.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot about that. Was like a bop of a musical.
That could just be, that's our tangent. What are some songs from your childhood that like unironically pop up too often for you? That one? You know what song Jake and I sang?
What song?
Unironically this weekend? Give me your J.
Jay, you got your J. That song comes up frequently for me.
For those who don't know what we were saying,
it's like a weird Christian rock.
We went to like youth growing up, youth rallies for like our church, and they always had this band come in, and I'm telling you, bop after bop. And
that one is the best though.
That put that devil on your feet,
put that devil on your feet, and stomp and stomp.
And they were so good, and they spelt out Jesus, and it was electric. It was like a call and response. There was a 2-part harmony. It was so good. J-E-S-U-S. And it was about, I'm sure there's so many people that are like, the Christian songs of my youth.
That's so funny.
Those ones, anything from the musicals that I like,
yeah,
can't.
I feel like a lot of the songs that come up for me are camp songs. Like that's my gut reaction is to like randomly I'll be like, oh Tom the Toad, oh Tom the Toad, why did you jump out on the road? Also, the amount of people that like cannot, I feel like we always said on the road.
Yeah.
And now people say in the road.
No.
And then it's like they mix it and then it's like doesn't, I don't like it.
Yeah, on the road. No, on the road. Well, I always think about like those songs.
But like musical songs, definitely.
Musical songs. Those songs from camp that we like really don't sing anymore because Tom the Toad's kind of taken over. But remember the like, with the little green frog one day.
With the little green frog. We all know frogs go la-di-da-di-da.
Who doesn't know that frogs go la-di-da-di-da? They don't go you know? So those songs will come up unironically for me. We sang a bunch of like our camp races this weekend of like Johnny Appleseed. Mm-hmm. Oh, the Lord is good to me. And so I thank the Lord.
I'm trying to think of like other songs we'd sing. I taught my students the like down by the banks.
Oh my
like that game,
goodness.
like the frog game. Like I remember singing that. Or like
boom with the what's that? Brick wall waterfall.
Girl, you think you got it all, but you don't.
And I did.
So boom with the attitude. Kick, punch, Captain Crunch. I got something you can't touch. Bang, bang, choo-choo train. Mommy, yep, I do my thing. I know karate. I know kung fu. Mess with me, I'll mess with you. I want to like tell off 8-year-olds with that all day long, but I have to compose myself.
Mess with me, I mess with you.
Or ruin some kids.
So fun. I remember feeling such like a bad bitch when I was saying like,
Or like the Camp Rock, like whatever, major loser with your fingers.
Like perfect.
I put on a bunch of like old. Okay, one other tangent.
Perfect.
I put on a bunch of like old Disney Channel songs.
Yeah.
on my 3rd grade classroom class playlist. And it's like we got Determinate by Lemonade Mouth. We got the whole High School Musical soundtrack, Camp Rock soundtrack, Hannah Montana, Starstruck. Or I Need a Hero. Oh my goodness. Old Jonas Brothers, like all this stuff. And the kids are like, this is so good. Who sings this? I'm like,
3,000.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, we're playing Kahoot. And it's like free time. And the kids are like, come play like Kahoot with us. Come play Kahoot. Because you can like search random Kahoots. So they did like a Disney Channel Kahoot.
Oh.
I screamed some kids. And I took no mercy. It was like during, no, it wasn't free choice time. They had like paid for indoor recess with a friend. So it was like kids from other classes. Like they invited kids from other 3rd grade classes. And I am like
smoking them.
Having no mercy. I smoked them. And then I screamed. I got first place over them by like tens of thousands of points. Because you get points based on how quickly you answer too. And partially like I can read a lot faster than them too. So I'm like clicking through the answers. So I screenshotted the podium.
Yes, good for you.
And I made it the background on our smart board. So the kids come in and all they see is like me standing there in front of my Kahoot podium. Or I'm like, how did you get 20,000 points? And I'm just like, gotta be good, kids. You gotta be good. And it's
this is what winning looks like.
And it's asking about like, there was some like Shake It Off.
Oh.
Or Shake It Up. Shake It Up. Shake It Off? What's the show? Shake It Up. It's Shake It Up with Bella Thorne and Zendaya.
Yeah. And they're like, what did Bella Thorne have that made dancing hard for her?
Just like, Zach and Cody.
Oh.
They had like Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana. That's a Raven questions. And they're like, what's That's a Raven? And I'm like, schooling. But the only question they got wrong was a dog with a blog question. And I couldn't think of what the show was called. I'm like, isn't it like Dog's Diary?
Dog.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch Dog with a Blog.
I think that was after our time.
We're too old, you know?
Because that's still on.
Ugh.
And apparently, what's the other show they said was on?
Is it Fetch with Rough Men?
It was on Disney Channel.
Come in between the lions.
PBS. That should be our tangent we go on someday too.
Oh, PBS.
Our PBS schedule.
We had a routine, everybody. We were built.
Yeah.
That's what you get, you know. Free television.
Mm-hmm.
Poor children. PBS.
That also have anxiety, so they follow a strict routine every day.
I knew where I needed to be, and that is, I was never late. I was always early, because guess what? I had to make it in time.
I was not going to miss Cyber Chase.
We're moving. We're beating Hacker at his games.
They're going to attack. He's all the hacker every single time. We got the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. Running in the Cyber Chase.
Suddenly we're down the tangent. Oh my goodness. Well, that was fun. Good little last 20 minutes or so.
Oh God.
But we appreciate you all listening. We will see you guys next week, Wednesday. Again, if you like what you hear, go ahead, share the show, share it with your friends. Go ahead and follow us on X, formerly Twitter, which who knows how long that's going to last for.
Threads, maybe.
If you'd like Instagram, I don't think so, _EH. Or go ahead and listen to us on YouTube, or maybe that is where you're listening to us. It's IDTS Conspiracies. If you want, go ahead and follow the Flurry Sports YouTube page as well. I believe
and TikTok.
And their TikTok. I believe they're at over 12,000 subscribers now on their YouTube page. So go join them. Maybe when they hit 15 or 20, they can do something else. So give them a follow.
Woo!
All right. We'll talk to you all later.
Bye.